When I first learned I would be a Peace Corps volunteer in Bulgaria, I began to research everything I could. The first thing I learned was how Bulgaria and Tennessee, where I live, are similar in size. In addition to sharing a comparable land area, they have a similar population and both abound with beautiful nature and a rich culture. I grew up in a small town in southern Middle Tennessee called Fayetteville. Fayetteville has a population of around 7,000 and is similar in population to where I first lived in Bulgaria, Varshets, and it very much reminded me of where I live in Tennessee. So this is my home in Tennessee. This part of Tennessee was primarily farmland in the past, and much of it is still used that way today. As a result, those of us who do not live in town tend to live far away from our neighbors. We call it living in the country. Though we refer to this as living on the farm, we don't produce much these days. But for many years, this farm was used to raise cattle and was even a dairy farm at one time. Our big barn is over 100 years old and used to store over 4,000 bales of hay to feed the cattle in the winter. Now we use it to host events and parties. You might have noticed the sunflowers I used in my decorations. My love for sunflowers was definitely born in Bulgaria. I always loved driving by the happy fields there, so I decided to plant some of my own. I enjoy watching them grow along with the tons of zinnias I also plant. I just love the colors. It has become a hobby to make small bouquets for friends and family and the residents of a local nursing home just to help brighten their day. So you may be wondering, what does this have to do with making a journal? All our lives are unique and different, and though you might want to keep a record of your travels and adventures in your journal, sometimes it's our everyday activities that others find interesting. Later, my friend and fellow volunteer Louise will share how she turned her everyday experiences in Bulgaria into a book. I am inspired by pretty things. That's why I like to personalize my notebooks and my journal. Personalizing our journals isn't much different than how we made our collages last week, so I'll refer you back to that video. The main difference, once we have cut and glued all our design together, we now need to protect it. To do this, we need some scissors and some packing tape. Starting at the top, you'll want to wrap the tape all the way around from the front to the back side, leaving a little extra that you can wrap up under the cover of your notebook. You'll repeat this step, working your way down to the bottom of the notebook. I look forward to seeing your inspired creations. For this assignment, show us your personalized journals or share with us your favorite way to keep track of your memories.